The entire purpose of charting is to make nothing more than a binary decision. Is price going up or down? My friends, it's that simple. Think about it. That is what we are trying to do. Is it easy? No, it's not easy. If it were easy, everybody would be a billionaire. But if you will work on it 10 to 15 minutes each and every day, you will be amazed at the progress you will make. Going to turn up the brightness on the screen there as we jump into the markets. And oh man, things are pulling back strong in Bitcoin and pulling back strong on the S&P and NASDAQ. I keep telling you guys, watch, watch, watch. There's going to be a significant pullback, and I just don't feel like it's going to be very far in the future. It's not yet, but it could be starting. We saw things slack off yesterday afternoon. As far as the half-day chart goes, lots of indecision with average volume. And then down in the morning, down in the afternoon, the S&P down 1.11%. Pay close attention as we look at the latest two-day candle. That's the Wednesday, Thursday. Lots of volume and a small candle. And we see the prior high was 668.91, 669.70. So it did go a little bit higher. We're getting up. We've got one more day. Will we reach average volume? We could, particularly if the market slags off and really pulls back strong. But you know, we've seen these pullbacks, and then we've seen the market recover. We've seen them, and then the market just keeps moving back up again and again and again and again. One day, it will occur. That is, the breaking point will be hit, the stops are off, and things are going to hammer down. Is it starting yet? I don't know. I mean, it's a day and a half. We've had a lot bigger pullbacks as we look back in October, as we look back into September, as we look back into September also, beginning, end of August, beginning of September. So again, we've seen some of this. Doesn't mean this is the one, but we're paying close attention. Price is still well above the weekly trend line on the 2-day, the half-day, and the weekly. It's a nice big green up candle. But just keep watching, my friends. With the actions the Feds have been taking, the stuff going on overseas, a lot of the worries and concerns. In fact, I'm going to produce a special report to our Patreon members tomorrow. I've already written it. I just have to find the time to get it all put together and get it out to you, and I will do so. And I'll share the rest of it with everybody, probably late in the weekend, but I think it will be helpful, and I'm particularly interested in what goes on tomorrow in the markets. Now, we said the S&P was down 1.10%. The NASDAQ down even more. Excuse me, 1.53%. And again, the prior high on the 2-day, 634.68, 637.01. So did move up $3 or so higher. But we can see where things down in the morning, further down in the afternoon. Volume slacked off in the afternoon. It was average in the morning. Still a nice big green up candle. We will hit average volume, be higher than last week tomorrow, and we shall just see how things continue to move. But, 1.53% is a pullback, so we'll watch. We've seen more. And again, the market's recovered. It could recover this time. I'm just saying, keep your running shoes on. Be ready to act if indeed the brakes are truly slammed on and this market jacks back. Otherwise, we're still long. Okay, just watch. Be careful. Pay attention. Don't listen to what the talking heads are telling you. Read the charts. They're trying to sell you commercial airtime, okay? Watch the charts. Let's see what's going on with 20-year U.S. government bonds. They're down some today. They were down yesterday. They pulled down through. This is important. They popped through the weekly trend line on the half day. We are sitting on it right there with that red down candle. The wick has pierced it on the 2-day. And as we look at the weekly, we've got a weak little candle now as we look at the ranging up and then losing it and then the ranging down on the wick. And we have that candle sitting right there on the weekly. So weakness inherent. Both stocks and bonds are down. Now, we will continue to watch. We've been talking about the weakness in bonds, particularly as things have moved along through this week and just continuing to weaken. What about gold, my friends? We told you gold popped through the weekly trend line. We have a red down candle for the week. We have 4 red down candles, but as we saw today, as the risk on was hitting things in stocks and bonds and Bitcoin, we have gold just brightening the day, up 1.96%. Now, it's still well below the weekly trend line on both the 2-day, the half-day, and the weekly, but we have seen some recovery. We still have that pail of lots of pressure pushing it down, but we are paying attention. Gold turns around and starts to soar again, jacking up through this weekly trend line. On the 2-day and the half-day, we will be paying close attention, particularly if stocks roll over and gold is seen as a safe haven. But I tell you what I've seen happen so many times. Pay attention. When we have events occur and the market really starts to pull back and hammer, everything goes down. Why? Because even though people want to run to gold or want to run even to bonds, and typically it hasn't been Bitcoin, okay, what happens? Well, they have to cover their shorts, don't they? They have to deal with margin calls and problems with cash flow. How do they do that? Well, they sell things like gold and bonds and maybe even Bitcoin. And it drags everything down for a certain amount of time until all that trub's taken out of the system, that garbage washes out. Then again, you might see things turn around, but so much has been pouring into gold lately, it's almost changed things. So we'll wait, we'll watch, we'll see. We're flexible, right? That's why we'll only chart 5 ETFs that are wide-ranging, from stocks to bonds to gold to Bitcoin. Gives us such a great smattering of things that we can look for what does best. But gold up for the day, even with all that downward pressure. Lastly, Bitcoin. Bitcoin pulling back strong. That move started when? On Tuesday afternoon, and then we saw down Wednesday, down Thursday, pushing through, back through the weekly trend line. We can see that's on the half day. The 2-day, we're seeing the wick, bottom wick, touch it on a red spinning top. And we're almost at a doji on the weekly chart, just barely holding on to that trend line on the far left of the little candle. We're already at average volume, well above average volume on the 2-day that closed today. And of course, in the morning, above average volume, even further above it, as things tanked over and dropped. So Bitcoin pulling back strong, but again, we've had that downward pressure. So we'll continue to wait, watch, and see as this market moves ahead. I think Friday's going to tell us a lot as we get ready to get into the new week, which might get really messy. And I like messy. Why? Because we have the ability to make money what? When the markets are going up or down. That's what you need to be practice trading to learn. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth.